Hi. So recently, Martinez, Flow Beats, and Ocean Drip dropped songs. One is called Bafunani, and the other is called Ngaphandle, which is being promoted by outside on Facebook. And Martinez recently dropped like a video on it. Very cool stuff, very beautiful. So the songs, like I listened to them and I enjoyed them a bit. They are very nice, but I had things that I wanted to say about them because I mean there are things that I always wanna say. I'm weird like that. Please forgive me. But then I was like, before I even thought about writing a script, it came back to me that what I do isn't typically liked. So I tried to find out why are critics hated. One reason I got was critics usually talk about things like they are expecting them while they do not know nothing. Sort of like a movie critic maybe has never made a movie in their life, yet they are criticizing a movie. Or like someone who's like me has never made a hit in their life, yet they are criticizing hits. And it was a whole thing and stuff like that. And I thought about that. I was like, those are very valid things, but they don't translate in real life. Like the more I discovered this, and I was like, okay, these are valid reasons to just keep quiet. But it didn't leave my mind. I kept thinking about it. I kept thinking about it. Like, really, is like everyone supposed to criticize whoever is in that field? Sort of like, is a soccer player supposed to criticize a soccer player? Is a musician supposed to criticize a musician? That is like all correct, that is all good. um but then I don't think that these people have bias, in my opinion. Like most of you could say, like, let's say a rapper must like just be qualified to criticize another rapper because they know what's going good and stuff like that. But for me, I say yes. Like you say, yeah, they are right. They know more about rap and techniques and whatnot, so they should be the ones who are criticizing the rapper. But then it kind of defeats the point because like that's not how things work in real life. It's not rappers who listen to rappers. Like there's rappers and then there's fans. So like if the artist doesn't criticize this rapper, are we as fans supposed to think, oh, good, okay, shoot, this thing is 10 out of 10? And one thing I noticed once I started thinking like this, I went to the promo posts and I started scrolling and I saw rappers liking and supporting other rappers, which is good, but they didn't have anything to say other than good stuff. Then, like, how does an artist grow if they all of what they do is just good stuff? I felt like critics, that's their job, to show you, Guti, we as friends, we listened, and this is what we do. We think you lack. That is an opinion that a critic is supposed to like let on. So why are people opposed to that? Because like most of the things didn't make sense. Sort of like in any field, basically, they didn't make sense. Let's look at soccer, right? Let's look at soccer. So in soccer, there is a coach. You can't say a coach must be as good as Ronaldo because he's coaching Ronaldo. You can't say a coach must be more skilled than Ronaldo to advise Ronaldo on how to play. It doesn't make any sense. You can't say like to, let's say, school, university. You can't say like whoever invented, like let's say someone invents a machine. Let's say it's a time machine. Yeah, but if we say like isn't or should like be equal, that means if like the person that invented the time machine, their teacher must also be able to invent a time machine, which does just doesn't work. I don't think that's how it should work. Yes, artists could advise another artist or could criticize another artist and say you did this badly, but I don't think we are looking at critics in a good, like, of course I'm biased. I'm gonna think like, because of who I am, because of what I want to do, I'm like, wow, you are not being fair to us. But kind of think about it in you too. If like things work like that, nothing would make sense. Like the people who teach boxers for the boxing thing, who would assume that the coach that is teaching that boxer must also be a world champion because they are teaching someone who wants to be a world champion, which doesn't work. It just doesn't make sense. So why do we put that on music critics, on movie critics, about people who criticize these things? Why do we have that barrier and stuff like that? Because, like, for me, the reason I say a rapper criticizing another rapper is a bias is because, well, they might not. They, like, understanding the hardships behind making music prevents you from saying anything, basically. Let's say someone drops a song with a certain producer, that producer charges 300 for the song. You look at that and be like, but they paid 300 for this song, but like writing a song takes like 5 days, like, but like making a beat takes like whatever time that it takes. Like, why should I criticize all that efforts? Because it's kind of like I'm discouraging them, which is, yeah, well, that's the bias that a rapper would have, whereas a critic doesn't have to think about all of that. They just have to think about the delivered product and then tell you what they think about it and stuff like that. Like right now, I heard things on Martinez song. I heard things on Flowbeat songs that me as a critic, I would like to talk about. I would like to tell them, like, they don't have to agree with me. Let's get that correct. I just talk. They don't have to agree with me. They can say I'm full of shit, and that's fine. But I heard things and I was like, I would like to highlight these things to them to get, maybe if they are aware that they are doing these things or they are not. Maybe it could help them to become stars of tomorrow, or it could not. Who knows? Because there's no formula to blowing up. But I wanted to say these things. There are many people who dropped. My playlist that I listen to on Spotify is the 034 Top 100s playlist. And I saw a lot of songs. 034 Chaser dropped the song that was nice. The Golden Platinum, they dropped the songs like Two Cheese and Berlin. I wanted to talk about some of that stuff. I couldn't because no, Trill Note dropped. Holy Caesar dropped. There are many people that dropped songs. There are many songs here. There's even this song by BZN. Like, that song, I loved it. I heard it on WhatsApp on the first time and I was like, oh my god, this song has to be here. It was a whole thing. I wanted to talk. There is a lot of shit that I want to talk about. There are a lot of artists here that I think have potential, but in my opinion, they are doing some things wrong. I don't know if that input by me would be welcome to them or whatever, but I'm just saying that, like, really, really, we don't do the critic thing here in order for, like, when you think in, like, I like to compare like hip hop here to hip hop in the US, because, like, that's where I got most of my interest, and I saw it's being popular here, and I was like, if it worked here and we like the things that they like, wouldn't it work here too? Yeah, well, it was that thing. And then I saw Guts Bonabenzane, and then I saw that and I was like, they do have critics there. I mean, some critics are not like Anthony Fantano. They say his opinions are full of shit. I agree with them sometimes. Some opinions by Anthony Fantano are full of shit. Like, sometimes Anthony just is not criticizing something because he's just sort of like the guy who swims against the current, who doesn't go. If we say stuff is good, to Anthony Fantano is bad. So yeah, but people do not like him for that. But not all critics are like that. There are many people in the US that are criticizing their hip hop on that other side, and their artists are improving. Like, there was this artist that was 6ix9ine. He was just copying how 6ix9ine flowed and all of that stuff. Some guy criticized him. I was like, yo, bro, that guy right now is not selling any records. Do you think you'll sell any records with that shouting shit? That guy didn't shout ever since, and his music grew a little. So he got a benefit from that. So if, like, that thing of critics is done there in the mecca of hip hop, the center of hip hop is done there, and people are taking it very well, it's fine. But here we don't allow it. What? Like, I don't know. Like, there are many people that like, I wish it wasn't only me, I guess, like, because I don't know many other people who criticize music in order for and stuff like that. I see a lot of dick riders, but I don't see many people who like criticize music here. And I would like to talk to, I don't know, start a conversation around that. Do we really not need these people who will look at the music they make in the eyes of the fans and decide to go see, do they think it's good or not? I mean, I always emphasize, these opinions, you don't have to take their advice. They may have biases, yes, but really, we're just not doing that. I don't know. I don't know. I was thinking about that, and I was like, right now, like, I don't. That thing is crushing me because there was this guy I saw here, um, who like drops songs. Oh my god! No, let me not just let me just not say his name because it's gonna be a thing. But I saw this guy. He did a thing. He dropped a song. I liked the song, but the song was bad in some things, like the things that like he was like saying. He wasn't sticking to topic that he was establishing. It was just like his track was good cadence and sound wise, but once you start like digging into the content of what he's talking about, it was just no. So I was like, I mean, should I talk about that, or am I gonna be labeled a hater? I didn't talk about it. He dropped another song. I listened to it, same thing. And I'm like, okay. And then I dig back to his catalog on YouTube and I listen to stuff that he made. And I'm like, he does this all the time. Does he know? Does he know that he's doing this? He doesn't. Maybe I could tell him, but am I gonna be a hater if I do? I don't know. Like, I would like to start a conversation around that, I guess. And thank you.